All right, welcome back. Our continuing coverage of Tropical Storm Lee. I'm Martin Folse, and as you can tell, once again, everything to the right of that stick is headed straight towards Terrebonne and Lafourche Parish. So that's why I have the stick there. The landfall is going to be to the left of that stick. But the reason I'm keeping that visual up is so you can see the rainfall that will be coming in this general area of St. Mary, Assumption, Lafourche, Terrebonne, and Grand Isle. And as you can tell, Grand Isle is fixing to, Plaquemine right now is fixing to be in some heavy rain bands. Terrebonne Parish and Lafourche Parish in short order are going to be getting some of those. So let's go to a little more of the Doppler shot, Jay, where we could identify the cities that everything is going over. So, but actually Jay's in here trying to get a technical thing ready to go, and then I think we have the parish president on the phone, so I'm gonna punch that up as soon as we can, and then we'll go through the maps as we can. So once again, let's see. HTV, hello, is this the parish president?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Michel, how are you today?
Doing fine, Martin. Watching this weather just like everyone else.
Right. What's the latest? I know we just got, and Jay, I'm gonna get Jay just to bring it down a little bit in my ears. Very distorted. We're fighting the technical end on this just as everybody else is. But if you can, Mr. Parish President, give us an update on everything that's going on.
Well, actually, Martin, it's pretty much the same thing as this morning. We're continuing to monitor all the areas. We obviously have nervous residents throughout the parish. We've been addressing problems as they've been presented. We will have somebody answering calls in Public Works during the next few days in there, and of course our OEP office will always be open, and we certainly will not have any problems if there are any questions from anyone. We have a webinar that's coming on at 4:30, and we're going to be watching that with OEP, and we'll make some determinations after that. At 6 o'clock, we're meeting with the fire departments and some other elected officials, and we'll be proceeding from there. But as of the present time, Martin, other than Reggie Dupre slipping off the marsh buggy excavator, we haven't had a lot of casualties.
Okay, now give me a little more information on that. Is everything okay there?
You didn't hear about that?
No, I did not.
Heavens, you sent an email to everybody.
Well, I'm just coming in from on location, so unless Jason got it. But
okay, this is what it is. The first victim of Tropical Storm Lee. He says, well, I made the record books today by becoming the first victim of Tropical Storm Lee. This morning I was so excited about my emergency permit to repair the breach in the old Texaco slip, I just had to go in the field and see my big boy toy, the marsh buggy, responding to an emergency. The problem is heavy rain and mud are a dangerous mix on the deck of a boat. I slipped and injured my knee, just left the ER, and it's only sprained. Like I always say, never a moment. And so he was the first casualty. Now, Martin, we've been going through the day, and obviously there are a lot of nervous people, and just as we are. And you know, right now, Public Works has responded to each one that we're aware of. I mean, unfortunately, there may be problems in the area, and I say maybe, there are, of course, problems in the area that have been ongoing for, 10, 15 years, and they're not going to be rectified today, I can assure you that. But what they've been doing is unstopping drains that might be clogged and other things similar to that.
Now let's talk about, we're looking at a shot of cocodrie, and we're back on it, and I got to be honest, I've seen a lot worse on as far as the tidal surge and all. We don't expect a big tidal surge, correct?
Not at the present time. We're probably, Martin, right now from the last reports, we might be talking about somewhere around 3 feet maybe, and right now the tides would be 1.5, so we might be talking about 4.5. But that was the last we had. Now I'm going to get an update very shortly, which will be the very latest from the National Weather Service, and that's coming on at 4:30.
So basically, some water south of the levee system, but everything north of the levee system should be pretty well intact.
Right. Those levels will not cause any problems to our levees unless there is something that we're unaware of at the present time.
Yeah, unless we're breaching, we hope not, you know.
But we have been working on them. Our levees, the levee district's been working on their levees, and I can assure you, everybody's been on top of this situation.
It looks like the unorganized center of circulation, of course, this thing it went pretty quickly to where it is now, and they suspected it would, but it looks like it's going to be somewhere, you know, west of Morgan City, and we're going to get just the big old rain bands, the scarlets and the reds are going to hit our area pretty good.
Well, it's unfortunate that we're going to be to the east of the center. We'd much rather be on the western side. From what I'd heard earlier, Lake Charles is not going to get that much at all.
Right.
And we'd certainly rather be on that side at this time.
Yeah, Lake Charles, they don't even have a storm surge graphic up from the Weather Service, so there's a non-existent whole western portion of this storm. We just happen to be, a lot of times we're on the good end, this time, once again, we're on the bad end. So.
Well, let's just hope that it doesn't linger too long, Martin.
Yeah, and once again, let's reiterate the pumps. You can take your system in Terrebonne Parish, 80-plus pumps, 5 inches an hour is what it's designed for, correct?
Well, not 5 inches an hour.
Okay.
You know, actually, it'll take 1 or 2 inches in the first hour, and then after that, it gradually continues on.
Okay.
Now, but Martin, just please understand, a lot depends upon the capacity, the reservoir capacity, and everything else
Right.
that's involved. But you end up where you have 5 inches in an hour, and that we're in trouble.
Well, and once again, it depends, I think you said it right, it depends on where you're located and what the reservoir capacity is and what's happening in your area. Could be you had a lot of rain prior to that, so it's all wait and see kind of thing. Right.
And you know, they have such things as antecedent moisture conditions, and 5 inches through the course of the day, if the pumps handle 5 inches of rain, Martin, they've done a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. And I misspoke, I said 5 an hour, should have said 5 in a pretty probably an 8-hour time period.
No, actually 24 hours would be probably.
So 24 hours. We can't have more than 5 inches. Okay, now you're gonna have me watching the rain gauge quite a bit.
Okay, now
there you see the big circulation here.
We can, you know, Martin, it depends on what the pumping capacity, where you're at, everything else. But truly, you get more than 5 inches at any day. That's a lot of rain.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had a 7+ day that you've experienced not long ago. So I think we just gotta, everybody, I'm sure you've met again with your crew, with all the officials that you need to meet with. Everybody ready to go, pump stations ready, everything's manned. Everything
is manned, and we're ready to go, and they're working all weekend.
Okay.
And thank you, Martin. I tell you, if you're going to be on the air after, we'll be finishing the 4:30 webinar a little later on the thing. It'll probably be finished at 4:50 or thereabouts. If you want us,
yeah, just come on, just walk on in and sit in the desk. We'll be glad to hear from you.
Or give you a call.
Or give me a call, whatever's convenient. Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate it. All right, there you heard it from Michel Claudet, and you know, and he is correct. Once again, I misspoke. I said like 5 inches in an hour. I mean, I've been through this before. It's and he said a 24-hour period. I was accustomed to thinking that, you know, day was 8 or 9 hours where we'd read it, but he says 24 hours. So we're going to go by what he says because he has all the information to deal with that, and we'll keep an eye on it. But I do know from covering storms in the past that different areas warrant different means to take care of the water, because some areas, some pump stations have a different capacity to pump the water into an area that might not have as much drainage area as another pump station. So the reservoir areas are very much a key to what we're dealing with here. Chris Matthews went to a local store today. I think he talked to 4 or 5 people on what they felt about this storm, and we were just trying to get a sense if people were worried about it or not. Let's roll in some footage and see what they had to say.
I'm not nervous, just a lot of rain, and we're actually going to Florida. We made plans and paid for it, and it's non-refundable, so we're getting out of here and going to Florida, and hopefully it won't be a whole washout at the beach.
I'm very excited about this storm because I just came through Hurricane Katrina and had to move to Houma, and I don't want to have to move again, so I hope it doesn't flood in this area. And the big wheels, what I call the BTOs, I hope they're taking care of all these people, especially down in the lower area.
Well, right now I'm not nervous, no. I would like to see it move in a little bit quicker. They claim it's moving real slow. Of course, we're used to this thing down here. We kind of know what to expect. I've got everything ready at home. Generator, we've got food. As long as the water doesn't come up too bad, I think we'll be in good shape. It doesn't appear to be too bad at this time, but I'd sure like to see it move a little bit quicker, get out to golf and go ahead and do its thing and get on in here and get it over with. Go back to our normal living again.
Well, I'm a little bit nervous because of the water, mostly if it rains hard. That's why I'm at the store to get me a few things, because if it rains too hard, I'm afraid of the floods. If it would rain so hard, it would have a lot of floods, so you got to get what you need and then go on home.
There you have it. I think one of the ladies said she was excited, but I think she meant like nervously excited. So we don't want, sometimes when the camera's on, people do say things that they don't really mean, but I think she meant nervously excited. And later tonight, I do want to let everybody know that Friday night sports is going to take place, and we're going to show you highlights. I know Nichols had a big win, 42-0, and as a matter of fact, I was reading emails. People send me emails, and I know Kerry Guidry, who's the son of Kevin Guidry, had his first big hit in college football. So a lot of local people are excited about Nichols, and that's a big Nichols win, 42-0. When's the last time Nichols won 42-0? But Coach Charlie Stubbs, I think, has that program on the right path. My alma mater, Vanderbilt, took one on the chin to Edie White, their rivals. So the Cardinals, they got the bragging rights this year, and all that's going to be on Friday night sports. And you may say, well, how do you know that? It's Friday. They played last night. They moved some of the games to Thursday night to beat the rain. Some other games are still taking place. So Stan Gravois and the entire hardworking crew at HTV are going to have all of that later on Friday night sports. I will tell you, we are also hanging on, and please excuse my rudeness, but I am checking all of my emails as we go because they're sending me things. And matter of fact, my brother Leonard Folse, who is a teacher at HL Bourgeois, said that as of 4:20, HL Bourgeois is still planning to play their football game tonight. And anyway, I think just to let everybody know. So anyway, there we go. Football games will continue. Going to be a lot of rain for these football games, so it's going to be some once again some gully washers. Let's take some phone. Let me just check to make sure that I don't have any other pertinent information. Let's see. All right, I think we're okay. Let's take a couple of phone calls. HTV, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please. But put your TV on low so I don't hear the feedback.
Okay. Hey, how you doing this morning, Martin?
Good, but it's not this morning. You just waking up?
Well, how you doing this morning, this afternoon, Martin? This is Terry,
right.
Terry Lee Williams. Look, I got a question for you. I wanted to ask you, is the hurricane going to hit Terrebonne Parish, or are we safe?
No, we're going to get a lot of rain. It's not a hurricane. It's a tropical storm, so I want to be factual. But, I mean, it could be a minimal hurricane by the time it makes landfall. We'll just have to wait and see. But looks like right now it's a minor tropical storm. But we are going to get a lot of rain in Terrebonne Parish.
Okay, so in other words, we got to prepare for some water to come up.
Well, not prepare for water, but prepare for rainwater.
Okay.
So we're not. Where do you live in Terrebonne, Terry?
Ashland North.
Okay. This is not one of those typical events where you're looking at a big storm surge coming up. And of course, I'm familiar with Ashland North. We've shot much footage over the years. But you're going to get a lot of rain, okay? So, but most of the homes in Ashland North are elevated, and should be okay. But you're going to get a lot of street water in that area, I'm sure.
Right, right. So we don't know if it's going to develop into a hurricane or not, in other words.
We don't, but if it does, it's going to be minimal. But the thing is, this thing is going to be like a wand where it sits out there and just sort of pumps rainwater. Now, don't forget, when Hurricane Juan hit in 1985, and I was just a 25-year-old man trying to start a TV station, and we covered that storm, it sat over Terrebonne Parish, it pumped a lot of water in, and it came in on a high tide.
Right.
But here's the kicker. We did not have the levee system in 85 that we have today.
Right.
So we're a lot better off today. We did not have the pump system that we have today. It's all, every parish president has moved it up a little bit. So, I mean, back in Hurricane Juan days, which was Parish President Bubby Lines, every hurricane after, like Andrew was Barry Bonvillain,
Right,
everybody
right.
did
Things
improvements.
differently. Yeah, everybody did something different, but they did something to improve with it.
That's correct. So, you know, my gut is we're going to be okay, unless.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
I hope so, because we got too much to lose around here right now, man. Everybody is basically out of work right now because of the weather, and I mean, it's hard, bro.
Yeah, no, I understand. So you just got to keep an eye. You're going to get some rain, so don't be taken back when the rain starts falling and the winds are about 40, 45 miles per hour.
Right, right. So is there any shelters going to be open for the people in Terrebonne or what?
No shelters are open unless the parish president deems that it's going to be necessary, but no shelters are going to be open at this point.
Okay, I sure appreciate it, man.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye. HTV, welcome to Bayou Time. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing?
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yes. How you think the power's gonna work? You think we'll be able to still watch the LSU game?
Well, I think you will. I think both Charlotte Randolph yesterday on the set and Michel Claudet, both the parish presidents of Lafourche and Terrebonne, individually said that they think that the power is going to be okay, that there may be some sporadic, and this is me talking now, if you have a big limb that falls from a tree and hits your transformer and knocks you off, well then you might have an individual problem, but I don't think the masses will be knocked out. But I don't want to guarantee that because all bets are off in a tropical storm.
Yeah, because I was just worried about that, because it just thought of it. When the LSU played tonight, tomorrow night for their first game of the season, you don't want to milk that on TV, know what I'm talking about, but I was just worried what was your opinion on electricity there.
Yeah, I think you should be fine, but once again, it depends. I mean, we're watching this storm. We don't want it to increase. It could increase, but we don't know that. And none of us are God, and we can only go by what actually takes place. The good part is it doesn't have a lot of geographic area to get steamrolling, so that's a good thing. All right?
All right, thank you, man.
Take care of yourself. Go Tigers.
All right.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry, Jay, who's on? All right, now, Jason, maybe working. I'm having like an airy sensation coming across it. It's a little hard to hear the viewers sometimes. All right. HTV, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Martin.
Yeah, how you doing today?
Oh, good. We're riding the island as we speak right now.
All right, there you see outside of Terrebonne Parish. But let's get a grand out shot. There you go. That one big raindrop is knocking my view out of your beautiful island. So you got a little feeder band coming over right now?
Yeah, they be coming. Look like they be getting a little steady since about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and they look like they one after another, and it looks like it's going toward you guys.
You had a bigger surf about 4 hours ago, and it looks like the surf's calm, but that doesn't mean anything. It just those feeder bands just come and go and come and go.
Exactly. We're watching the waters. We're watching on the backside of the island, the levee system there. We got all my men out, and we got different guys working different areas. We're making sure that anybody that needs help to raise anything up, and we're trying to help the people that want to take their campers off the island. So
right.
We're just keeping an eye on things, and we're asking the people that's staying on the island to, just stay inside if they can, and respect and watch the weather, and just stay tuned, and we'll keep them informed. But it's a shame, man. We had a great little rodeo that we expected. They sold all the tickets, and we're getting ready for that. And then, we needed 2 more weekends. We got that festival for next weekend, and really, we need 2 more weekends, Martin. But anyway, we're going to take this day by day, and we don't know what the storm's going to do, but we're monitoring everything and making sure our pumps, and we got new tractors and new pumps scattered all over the island in Cheniere, and we're just going to ask the people to have a little patience. And like I said, the road LA1's still open to come to Grand Isle. Anybody wants to come get their campers, their boats, or check on their summer homes, or check on their relatives, as far as we're concerned, you can come on down. Let
me ask you this, Mayor. What's this? This storm might help the shrimp, right?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because, a couple of days ago, one of the oyster fishermen on the island, we went out there and we found some oil on his reef, and we don't know who it belongs to, but we got a kind of a feeling we know who it belongs to, but we took the Coast Guard and Wildlife Fishery, and, we're talking with the fishermen, and the fishermen kept on saying, what you going to do? What we're going to do? This is going to kill my living. And I said, talking with Dean Blanchard and all the guys, all the fishermen, everybody, any resident, anybody, anywhere in Louisiana, it's a fisherman that, we need a little stir up to see if there's any oil, and we need a little stir up, to see if there's any shrimp, because the shrimpers wasn't catching nothing all over. Man, I talked to some fishermen all along the coast, and coming up to, up here, up the bay at the dry docks, and just stopping and talking to the guys on dry dock, and they tell me that that it's pitiful. So hopefully this little stir up here, and we don't, nothing get worse than this. Hoping that we'll find this is the real test if there's any oil left, which I believe we're going to find some. And the other thing is hopefully that the shrimp will come back, and the good Lord will provide these guys to make a good living and get our tourists back so everybody can make a good little living.
Mayor Camardelle, let me ask you, you've been through plenty of storms. Does this eerily remind you of Juan?
Yes, sir. We're talking about my brother's on my side. He came down from Dinosaurville to help me and pick up my stuff underneath my home, and we talked about it. Yes, it does. It's I just feel like this one here is I hate a storm like this in the Gulf hanging around, because you try to do the right thing and you try to watch what's going on, and you try to make sure your people's safe, and you don't want to get gale force winds, and you definitely don't want to evacuate your people. Always make sure with my council, my chief, that we evacuate, a voluntary evacuation like this time for, during the daytime. You never want to do that at night. Yeah. And again, this thing's playing around in the Gulf, and we don't know if it intensifies. We're going to watch it close, and we got another conference call at 10:30 tomorrow, and we're going to make sure that our people are safe in and out. Now,
you're in the area that looks like it's going to get 8+ inches. Of course, you're in a little different scenario than Terrebonne and Lafourche, because naturally you're surrounded by water, and you try to get the water to drain either to the bay or to the Gulf or whatever. It still presents a problem for you, but what do you feel as far as power? Do you think you're going to be able to stay on?
Well, believe it or not, it was out from Lockport to Grand Isle earlier. There's a feeder line that was out, and we on the other line that really there's a lot of wind. What's going to happen is it's kind of, that line there is kind of a little weak, so if the wind picks up during the night, there's a good possibility that it could go out a little worse than the good line that and I was told by Energy that they're all working on it. So with a little prayers, we open that electricity and go out that quick.
Well, good luck, Mayor, and we know you're going to keep us posted. We've been through this together quite a bit on these storms, so if anything happens, or if you need to get any information out, please don't hesitate to give us a call.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we're going to watch it, and we're going to ask the people to stay inside. And like I said, our people, our Cajun people, they know when to leave. And like I said, we're going to watch it. We're going to make sure that we got our fire chief, we got our police chief, we got some great help from Jefferson Parish and even Lafourche Parish. So again, just tell the people that the only thing I don't like is going to be a couple of 2-3 days, and hopefully the electricity stays on. But if they need anything, we're there to help them out, and we'll make sure everybody's safe.
All right, Mayor. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Bayou Time.
Okay, buddy. Thank you so much. Y'all do a great job, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Once again, it's Mayor Camardelle. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue our coverage. Phone lines are open, 879-1231. As you can hear, some of the callers a little concerned and getting a little antsy about it. And trust me, you're going to get some rain. You're going to get a little wind. This is not a Katrina. This is not a Gustav. But this is a tropical event, and we do have to keep an eye on it, so we have to be vigilant, but we will ride through it. We will get past it. So we'll take a break. We'll be right back.